Well, I wanted to also talk a little bit about your experiences on the road and traveling and whatnot. I mean, this is one of the things that I enjoy most when I get to talk to travel creators like yourself because I have that in common with with all of you, right? Like I had mentioned, I lived in Bali for 6 months in 2019. A year before, I was in Colombia for several months, living in Medellin. Been to many different places. Um, what was it that inspired you or encouraged you to, get out on the road?
Yeah. So after I graduated university, for me, that was something that I kind of always saw in my head of, okay, you graduate university and then you go and travel. And I had seen a lot of other people do that. And so I knew that was something I definitely wanted to do and experience. And I mean, growing up, my family, we would travel kind of ever so often. I had gone to, when I was 16, Beijing with my dad, which was really cool. And then we'd go to Mexico as a family. But other than that, it wasn't, yeah, too far. I mean, China was the farthest I had gone. And even that trip, I was like, wow, this is really cool to go out and see the world. So for me, that was always my plan after university, go and travel. And then as soon as I got to Southeast Asia, I honestly fell in love. I just thought it was so cool and so different than any other place I had traveled to before. And it's just everything was so cheap and things were very casual there. It was warm. You could wear your elephant pants everywhere. I mean, as a backpacker, that's was our main outfit, these comfy elephant pants. And it was just a great time. And so that's kind of when I first really fell in love with traveling.
Yeah, I remember buying a pair of those for friends when I was in
Yeah.
Bangkok
I
at the
still
end of
sleep in them as
2019.
my pajamas now. They're very comfortable, but yeah, it encompasses Southeast Asia because you can literally live in those pants while you're traveling.
So which countries specifically in Southeast Asia did you go to?
So I actually went everywhere in Southeast Asia, except for Malaysia and Myanmar. And the first place I went was Thailand, and I had actually lived in Bangkok for 3 months, and would go like travel around, and it was just such a interesting experience that I still to this day absolutely love Bangkok. I think it's such a cool city. People usually write it off for being just dirty and gross, but it has so much to offer, and you really learn that, especially when you live there, how much the city has to offer.
Yeah, I spent about a month in Bangkok after I left Bali, went to the Philippines and then went to Bangkok for like a month before coming back to America prior to basically the pandemic. I probably would have been out on the road still had the pandemic not
Yeah, wouldn't
not
we all? Yeah.
started. And so I totally agree with you about Bangkok. Like I was quite impressed with how modern it was and just, the public transportation is easy to get around on like the metro and whatnot. And then if you wanted to drive a motorbike, you could, or you could just call a motorbike to drive you around places. It was cool.
Definitely, yeah. I always am like, okay, you need to give. If people say they don't like Bangkok, I'm like, you need to give it another shot. Go to a sky bar, stay in kind of a nice hotel. There's some cool malls there. There's like, yeah, cool shopping, and I highly recommend.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, you know what else is I like about Southeast Asia? I don't know if this is, tell me if I'm Filipino, so I don't know why I don't know this, but um, I don't think the Philippines has many night markets, but Bangkok has some cool night markets. I went to Kuala Lumpur; they had cool night markets. I know Singapore has night markets. Those were some of the things that I really enjoyed about going to some of those places. Did you get to do
Yeah.
that too?
Yeah, I definitely did that a lot when I was in Bangkok. And I had actually gone to Bangkok about 2 years ago as well and did some cool night markets. I actually tried eating a water bug for the first time. I have a video on YouTube about that. And it was very salty, but you can get anything there. It's very, yeah, you can explore all your food cravings or interesting food, and it's a cool time.
Yeah, in addition to getting those elephant pants too, right?
Yes, exactly. You just need to bring an extra suitcase. You can stock up on all your favorite goods and
So how do you think travel has impacted the way that you approach life?
Yeah, definitely. So I feel like travel, I don't want to sound cliche, but it does change you as a person. And it makes you realize how vast the world is and how many different cultures there are and the way people live. And it just like opens your eyes up to this whole new world. And for me, also, too, something I kind of didn't realize that I get from travel was it made me appreciate Canada also a lot more. Because I mean, Vancouver is a beautiful city, but I think you kind of take a city for advantage the longer you live there. And so for me, every time I come back from traveling, I would just be kind of re-amazed by my own city, along with obviously having this new experience in another city. And so just all around, I'd say has made me a better person and has just like opened my eyes up to the world and makes me want to travel so much more. Like I do want to travel for the rest of my life because it's truly an amazing experience.
I imagine it's made you definitely, like you're saying, because I feel that way too about I'm from California. I'm here in California right now due to the pandemic, about where I'm from. But especially now, during this pandemic, where you're stuck in Vancouver, right? Like you're stuck home in British Columbia, and so you have this appreciation for it. And maybe I don't know if this is happening for you, but this is something for me, is that it's making you see the place with your home with new curiosity and new eyes, and makes you want to even just explore your own backyard.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's especially true in the summer. I mean, in the winter, it rains a lot in Vancouver, but it's, yeah, truly a world-class city, Vancouver. And so I'm very grateful to live here. And every time I travel and come back, I'm always like, wow, like this, I'm really lucky to live here. And so that kind of, it gives me a new perspective on my own city too.
Yeah, I think we tend to have like a tendency when we're young and when we're growing up, you're like, you want to get out of your hometown. You want to get
Yeah.
out of where you live, and you want to see the rest of the world. And then when if you're lucky enough, to do that, then you come back again with fresh eyes and a fresh perspective, and you realize like, oh crap, I'm really lucky to be from here. Because like you said, like Vancouver, I mean, people want to go to Vancouver and
I
travel
know.
there.
Yeah.
And like so many people, even me being from the San Francisco Bay Area, like growing up, I didn't go to SF like every single weekend. Like it was on a rare occasion that my family and I would even just venture out into San Francisco. Most of the time we just go to San Francisco to pick people up from the airport.
Yeah.
But you're just not really able to experience that or appreciate that when you're young. And now I guess when you're older and you have more freedom and you can do things and explore and whatnot, you can actually appreciate where you're from a little bit more. Hey there, thank you so much for watching this excerpt of the Videocraft Show presented by Video Husky. If you're a content creator that struggles to organize scripture ideas for your videos, I've got a resource for you. You can get a copy of our free script template. Using it can help you structure your videos and save you hours of time from filming in the process. To get it, all you have to do is just scroll down on this video, find the link in the description, and subscribe to our email list. From there, it'll get delivered straight to your inbox right after you sign up. And by the way, if you're enjoying these videos, can you do us just a quick favor and hit the like button before you go? And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel too, to stay up to date with all the content that we're creating here on this channel. And finally, be sure to tune into the Videocraft Show presented by Video Husky on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever it is that you get your podcasts. We've got links in the description down below. If you want to watch or listen to the full episode, just tap the video right next to me over here, and that'll take you to the entire episode in which this excerpt is from. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.